I wanted to see how a regular built-in oven stacks up against one of the cheapest pizza ovens on the market. So today, I'm putting them to the test with my standard 24-hour pizza dough. Let's see how they compare. In a previous video, I already showed how I bake Neapolitan-style pizza in a built-in oven, and I've also made a few videos using this little red electric pizza oven. In today's video, I'm making my standard go-to Neapolitan dough and baking it in both ovens to see how they compare. For this test, I made a batch of dough for 5 small dough balls, each 200 grams, with 62% hydration, 2% olive oil, 3% salt, and a 25-hour fermentation at room temperature. This time, I'm using compressed yeast. First, I dissolve the salt in a small amount of warm water, then add cold water, followed by ice. After that, I gradually start adding the pre-measured Caputo Cuoco flour while mixing. As the ice melts, it helps the dough hydrate slowly. After a few minutes of mixing, the dough starts to come together, so I add the yeast and continue mixing until it reaches 23 degrees Celsius. With my trusty hand mixer, this takes around 20 minutes. Slowly bringing the dough to this temperature is key to building a strong gluten structure, as you probably already know from previous recipes. The dough is coming together nicely, so I decided to give it some love and transition to hand mixing. Once it reaches 23 degrees Celsius, I cover it and let it rest for 20 minutes before balling it up. Time's up, so I portion out the dough. I decided to go with 200-gram balls. IMO, this is the best size for these smaller electric pizza ovens. The dough looks nice and strong, so I shape the balls, brush them with a bit of oil, cover them up, and let them rise on the counter until baking the next day. A day has passed, and it's time to get things heated up. I stack 2 baking trays, flip them over, place the baking steel on top, and slide it into the oven near the top heating element. Then, I crank it to max temperature and let it preheat for an hour. 1 hour later, the oven is as hot as it gets. I check the baking steel with an infrared thermometer. It's holding steady at around 250 degrees Celsius. Time to stretch out a dough ball and pre-bake the base for about 4 minutes with just tomato sauce on top. Let's take it out, add some toppings, and brush the crust with a bit of oil for extra color and crispness before putting it back in for another 2 minutes. It actually turned out pretty good. Crispy, well-risen, and nicely colored. The top is thin and well-baked, and when I cut into it, the crumb looks great. But 6 minutes is 6 minutes. That's a long bake for Neapolitan-style pizza, so it ended up drier and crispier than a true Neapolitan. Ironically, though, taste-wise, it's still better than what you'd get in 70% of pizzerias. And now let's see what kind of pizza oven you can get for under $100, and whether it's actually worth it. It comes with a thin, removable stone, which is easy to replace if it ever breaks. Heating elements are on both the top and bottom. The right knob is a timer and the left controls the temperature. For preheating, I usually set it just below the max, somewhere between 4 and 5. There's no insulation, so it heats up really fast, but that also means the exterior gets a bit hot. Thankfully, the plastic handles stay safe to touch. After about 17 minutes, the stone is already above 300 degrees Celsius, so it's good to go. Now's the time to crank it up to max temperature. Pizzas in this oven are usually done in around 3 to 3.5 minutes. For the best results, I pre-bake the base with just tomato sauce for about 1.5 minutes, then add the toppings and put it back in for another 2 minutes. The oven bakes a bit unevenly, so I like to rotate the stone from time to time using the side handles. I think the result speaks for itself. Soft but crispy pizza with a well-risen crust and a flat center, baked in just over 3 minutes after a 20-minute warm-up. For around $100, that's pretty damn good. Sure, it has its flaws, like uneven baking and a slightly awkward peel design. But for beginners, these ovens are definitely not a bad choice. They're portable, don't take up much space, and can bake some seriously tasty pizzas. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.